What do you think are some of the risks of not building a company? So should every creator build a team?
I think it comes down to each creator has the reason that they were driven to do this. And so, I've met some people who are quite content to have, they feel like they've had enough. Um, Although deep down, when I see some people, if they've taken it this far, that shows that deep down they're pretty motivated people. So um, let's approach the question this way. I think that everyone should try to to build a team. And whether building a team's right for you or not, I think you should give it a shot. A wise person once told me you should try everything once. And I heard a more interesting approach to this. You should try everything twice. I kind of like that one, but you know, I think the risk of doing it alone or keeping your team still is that new blood can be very, very beneficial to keeping up with the changing times. I mean, since we started this, we've had to, that's what most people don't realize, that the company's always also evolving. So teams always evolving. So if it's the same few people doing the same thing for 10, 20, 30 years, it could work, but there's also a chance that it won't evolve. But by adding people and adding ideas, whether you take them or not, that's your choice ultimately as head of the team. But I think there's always value in trying to grow because, like I said earlier, I was very humbled by growing the team because at each step, I pretty much found someone who is better at me than every single job that I've done. It's really, really interesting. Um, it makes my job a lot harder because I truly believe that in order for you to effectively manage, you have to have some understanding of what you're managing. And I'll go back to that audio example. Um, when we try to hire someone to do the audio, we tried to outsource the editing of the audio. And we would send a file to someone who wanted to charge us $100, and they'd send the file back in 5 minutes. And we knew our process took 2 to 3 hours. And we were able to identify early on that all they did was run a filter on this piece of audio. So I think maybe you can relate to this.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking about an entirely different example, but maybe funny for our listeners. I used to live in China for a few years, and the toilet was, how do you call it? The toilet was blocked one day, so I had to
Yep.
arrange somebody to unlock it. How do you call it? Unblock it?
Uh, Plunge it. Yeah.
To plunge it. Okay, so I found this person at the reception of like the compound where we were living, and he said like in Chinese, "I can make it 600 yuan," which is like 70 euros or like $80. I was like, that's quite a lot. But he was like, yeah, it's a lot of work, and I have to come with all these tools, and I was like, whatever. And he came to our apartment. He spent 5 minutes in the bathroom. He came out. He said, "Yeah, it's fixed. Please give me $80." He earned that in 5 minutes, and I gave him the money because I was so shocked. But afterwards, I was like, "Shit, this guy ripped me off. I shouldn't have given the money." But yeah, it's not really related to business, but I understand that feeling.
So, in this case, if you had known a bit about plumbing, you would be like, God, listen, there's a fun. And so that basic knowledge, not expertise, but that some basic knowledge inside of a field, I think gives you the ability to manage it. And I think that's one of the important things. And so when you're growing the business, as we started to grow each step, as soon as I handed something off, I was forced to get out a textbook, find the best blogs, find a podcast, and start learning the new area which I would focus. And I had to do this 4 times a year for 10 years. Now I've got a good skill set now, but again, it goes back to this question: when you have a small team, right? You are a master of a few skills. As you're growing the team, I'm kind of like now a jack of all trades. And where is that inflection point, right? When does that jack become valuable versus the king or queen of, or the ace of be making these viral videos, right? And that's why it comes down to a personal choice. But I think you should always be challenging yourself to bring people on, and it's going to help you grow. Can you manage effectively? If you can't, why? Actually get some feedback, learn, think, etc.
What is the scariest thing about building a business so big? Some people are scared to hire just one person. You hired over 70 people, well, 70 full-time employees, right? And then you have lots of freelancers as well. Isn't that, you never go to bed in the evening and think by yourself, shit, this is actually quite scary what I'm doing with all this responsibility?
No, actually, not till you just mentioned it now. So thanks a lot, Jan. Really helped me out there. Yeah, I think I'm going to cut this off. I got a couple of things I need to check on, but I think big, small, we have the same fears. I mean, my fears, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying my best. But you always, again, it goes back to schooling in a way. We always have someone there to tell us if we're on the right or wrong track. Right here, I mean, who's telling you this stuff? There are certain numbers that point the right way this year and they don't point the right way next year, and you hit the panic button, and some people are better at having faith and things like this, but yeah, it's scary.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about, I mean, now we are like 15 years later, but when you started, had you never thought about building a so-called lifestyle business, where you could just travel the world, make some money and enjoy life, avoid the big business challenges, just live the easy life? And like 15 years ago, I mean, now the situation is different, right? You have a house, you have kids, you have more responsibilities. But I think this question will take us back to the first question, which was, why did you decide to build a company? You never thought about, why not just do a podcast, make some money and live the easy life?
It's so hard, right? Like if you look back now and you say, yeah, I could have the #1 podcast inside of traveling around the world and talking about the best hotels. Oh man, that sounds really, really good. Man, you got me tempted again. Thanks, Jan. You're really taking this.
We should do this every week, Peter.
But again, I think we all experience very similar things. We're kind of in the trenches in a way. We're, for Jan, for you, you're trying to get a podcast. Let me go out on a limb here and remember when I was getting, I was doing a podcast a day. So I wasn't focused on my 1-year plan. I was focused on getting that podcast published before I left for that last train.
Yeah.
Making sure that I have it done by Friday, so I could get home and spend a little downtime, right? So we're kind of focused on these immediate goals. We can't really, you could easily flip it around and if we have 15 years, where do I want to be in, 2030? Yeah, we probably picked one niche and focused on that exclusively and built up our, media and for each channel and focus just on one thing, kind of what you're doing. I think you have great potential here. I love it. I think what you guys are doing is incredible. But right now, you probably don't see it that way. You're probably seeing, all right, I got a deadline. The 100th show has to be out by what day is it going on?
Yeah, Friday and Tuesdays.
Friday and Tuesday. It's got to be out on this day. It's got to be edited. It's got to have, the graphics with it. It's got to be, we got to double check, et cetera, et cetera. And I think that's where, but taking some time, maybe maybe giving you some advice, maybe you could cut the show short 2 times a year and then focus on the bigger picture stuff. That would probably be some advice that I might take looking back.